Thanks so much for joining me for this next edition of Dr. Plotzker's Mind. As our sage Hillel tried to teach us, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? Sometimes you just have to take care of yourself. It's been an interesting week, a little challenging week. The background, I'm at the age where I get screening for various health maladies, including colon cancer. I had my scheduled screening about a year earlier, and without assigning much editorial comment, the preparation was not adequate. And I was advised to have the screening done again in a year. Now, within that year, I also came down with laboratory evidence of iron deficiency. I'm a regular platelet donor, and the blood bank started turning me away. I didn't have any threatening anemia, but I was repetitively not up to the blood bank standards. There was some concern about whether it's really a blood problem, because one of the other issues is borderline kidney function, though not in a way that would threaten me in any fashion, but would affect the preparation for getting the anemia checked out. In any case, I had laboratory testing done, and it confirmed the iron deficiency. I went to schedule an appointment to have the GI sources evaluated. Was given an appointment 4 months later, which I accepted, but went ahead and just treated myself. The iron is not a prescription item, though I did not get iron sulfate over the counter. What I got was a multivitamin with an iron supplement in it. It came time to do the procedure, and then COVID came through my household, and I got delayed another 4 months as I had to cancel the procedure that had already been scheduled. Now, in the meantime, this could have been fairly serious. I started looking around for alternate ways to get this done faster and was not very successful at finding any. I had my doctor do the lab testing again post-treatment. The anemia had corrected, and in fact, the blood bank was again accepting me. Finally, it came time for the endoscopist to do her thing. And this time I wanted no problems. I did the ultimate prep, which took 3 days of liquids and the usual laxatives that have no kidney effect, and made sure that it got done. It turns out that they did not see any source of bleeding, but the abnormalities that were detected, though they appeared minor, they were in the parts of the GI tract that were specifically not visualized previously due to the suboptimal prep. I seem to be reasonably taken care of now, though I had a fair amount of uncertainty with the potential for something relatively serious. It ran its course, but I think that what I learned from it is that when it's important to know the answer, you take a few risks. You do a little bit beyond what is easy, and sometimes a little bit beyond what has no safety risk, accepting a prudent risk to get it done right. I mean, this could have been missed were it not for a little bit of assertiveness on my part. In a few weeks, the various biopsies will be back, but nothing ominous. I have a little advantage as a retired physician in that I understand this, that I understand what the limitations are, and I have a reasonable understanding of what the risks are and what's prudent. Not everyone has that. So I'll just sit tight for a few weeks, let the doctor decide what to do next. It turns out that the preparation of 3 days of clear liquids had a bit of an effect on my mind. The brain is fed with glucose, and there was no shortage of glucose in the soda and iced tea and all the other things that I consumed. I even put sugar in coffee. I never put sugar in coffee. But even so, I could tell my thinking wasn't right. By around the third day, I was a little bit foggy, having difficulty paying attention. The strength depends on more varied caloric sources beyond what one would get in soda. So that by the end of the prep and with the purging of the GI tract, I could sense that there was some real weakness there, along with sleep deprivation the final night. Yet, despite causing myself a little bit of dysfunction that I assume is going to be temporary, again, when it's important enough to know, you have to be willing to do what it takes to assure that anything that really is ominous but correctable gets identified. Thanks so much for joining me for this session of Dr. Plotzker's Mind.